We played a lot of different zones, a lot of different man-to-man. We gave them a lot of different looks. Try to get our younger guys in there to make sure they get some postseason experience. I think today was kind of microcosm of the whole year with respect to we couldn't make open shots. I mean, we had wide open shots that just didn't go in. It was one of those days the ball didn't fall. Didn't do a good job from the free throw line early. As bad as we played in the first half, I still think we were in striking distance. Just could never get in the rhythm offensively. They did a good job in their matchup. It just was one of those days. It was one of those days. It's sad when it's, particularly if Isaiah Jackson, his last game, I feel so bad when our player loses his last game, in particular at home in our building. But it was one of those years that just wasn't. We just didn't have it this year. It's not a year I'm happy about. To me, it's unacceptable. I got to do a much better job with our group. We have to definitely look at our program and evaluate it from a standpoint of what we need and where we're going to go forward. But it happens. It's part of life. It's part of growing. When you're in business as long as I've been in it, you're going to have years like this. Hopefully you just don't have them multiple times, because I wouldn't be sitting here if I did. So I hold myself accountable to the year that we had, and hopefully do a better job as we begin the 2019-2020 season.
Kind of disappointed you didn't give yourself a good chance to win at both ends of the floor?
Yeah, we just didn't play well on both ends. Open shots, defensively, we just didn't play well. It's unfortunate.
Was the quickness disadvantage kind of surprising to you, or did you think was that a real concern coming in?
Well, the concern coming in was ball pressure. I think the ball pressure bothered us. They were a little short-handed, losing their leading scorer, but I think they played better without him on the floor because they didn't have to play out of the post like they have on all the film. They went 5 out, and we were chasing them all over the place. We tried to go zone, and they made a couple of tough threes. In this tournament here, to their credit, I think they were more excited to play, unfortunately, than my guys. I thought they had a little bit more pop in their step, and this is a learning thing for all of us. Hopefully, if we're in a situation again, not in the NIT, the NCAA, we'll have a little bit more energy, a little bit more pride.
Why would they be more excited than?
I don't know. I don't know. I can't answer that. I have to ask my players that. But that's just I can be wrong. I'm just giving you my feeling.
Ed, how long do you kind of take a breath before?
None, zero. I'll be on the road recruiting tomorrow. AM.
Does this maybe put more questions in your head than you had yesterday?
No, we've done it a long time. Sometimes you just don't play well, and it shows up at the wrong time. I don't think you could overreact. I mean, when I look back at the season, I think we've had some really good moments. We just didn't have enough good ones, and we didn't have enough consistency. We have to be more consistent. We have to have guys that, a little bit more consistent in their play and their approach. It's unfortunately that we played bad, and it's our last game. We've had a couple of really bad games, and today was one.
How do you coach consistency? What do you do as a coach?
Well, I think you have to get some veterans out there. We played a lot of young guys this year. This is their first time going through it. Your guys that were role guys the year before, now you're lead guys, so I think you do a good job teaching them how to be better leaders and hold them more accountable. You got to get an old team and try to stay old if you're going to be a consistent winner year in and year out. And this was the youngest team we've coached here at Providence. It was indicative of the way we lost. I don't know, Avi may have to correct, this may be the most home losses we've had since I've been your head coach. And that's just unacceptable for me. And I feel bad for our crowd, I feel bad for our fans, our alumni, our students, but it's part of the deal, and it's how you deal with it moving forward to try to correct it.
Ed, do you hope a loss at the end of the season like this motivates your guys for next year even more so than it may, say, in the NCAA tournament, just losing at home?
Well, at some point, everybody's going to lose. It's going to be one winner at the end of the day. It's really the conversation you have with your guys and being very direct with them. Today's kid, I don't know how bad losing hurts them with respect to how basketball is played right now with AU. There's always there's always another game. Like, so you're in the gold bracket, you have 5 games. When we played, you lost, you went home. You know, if I could ever write a basketball book, it would be called I Got Next. Because when we were kids, if you had next and you lost, you waited an hour. That taught you competitive spirit. That taught you how to communicate. If you couldn't shoot, I would tell you, you can't shoot. Rebound, run. And that's not in today's kid. You know, everybody gets a trophy today. And so that's what we have to deal with when we're coaching these kids. Not many people have next. They go to the next school. It's okay, we got another game. Right here, we're sitting, we're going home for 2018, 2019.
I'll give you a positive. Was Malik at least a bright spot towards the end of the season here?
I don't think one guy on the roster played well today. Not one. And it started with me. One through the organization was not a very good performance. Because, you know, I don't know what anybody scored or whatever. At the end of the day, winning is what makes me happy. Whether we win ugly or great, there wasn't a positive point, not one positive thing in the game. So, I mean, I don't want to blow you up, but if you ask me to be real, that's being real. We're sitting up here and we didn't play well. The positive thing is, next year we get another year. That's what I'll take. Coach them up, get them ready, you know, take a little time off after our recruiting period and start over again, see where we end up.
And how bothered were the kids in the locker room afterwards?
They were. You know, it's tough. I mean, you know, it's your last game. A little emotional. So you got to give them a hug, tell them you love them, tell them, hey, it's part of growing up. But along the way, you know, we got to change some things in order to try to make it really, really hurt on a loss, especially at home, the way we lost at home this year. Hopefully we can make some changes to do that.
Are there any specific positions you'll be looking for on the recruiting trail, or is anything open?
Players who can help the Friars, period. Anything else? I appreciated you guys this year. Appreciated all the coverage, appreciate how you guys treat our players. Thank you guys so much, you guys are awesome. Look forward to spending a lot of time with you moving forward. Appreciate it.